One of the things I get asked most often is, how can I save money on my legal bills? So I have developed a list of my top 5 suggestions for saving money. Number 1 is journaling. So journaling is important because it has benefits for both the client and the attorney. So for the client, journaling will provide an opportunity for the client to process their emotions as they're going through it. For family law cases in particular, this can be very important because sometimes clients have to get through some of those emotions before they can discuss their case in a productive manner with their attorney. For the attorney, having the client journal is a really invaluable resource for dates that sometimes are used for calculations or to keep track of, for example, when a child is spending certain amounts of time with one parent versus the other parent. So journaling is really an invaluable tool and allows you to save money, because if you journal, your update emails will be more organized and your attorney will be able to, instead of chasing down dates in some other fashion, they can look at your journal and get those dates directly from there. The second suggestion I have for saving money on your legal bills is update your lawyer by email versus phone call. So update emails will vary depending on what type of case and perhaps even lawyer preference. I like to have my clients update me no more often than once a week, barring emergency, of course. And I like to get my update emails on Friday. It's just a personal preference. This is something you probably should ask your attorney about. But the reason you don't want to do it by phone is that with email, it's easy to refer back to, again, similar to with a journal. And also then you don't surprise your attorney at an inconvenient time, which leads to my third and related tip: schedule all phone calls. So I would have to share that this is probably my number 1 pet peeve that I have among clients. I like to call them phone call attacks. And phone call attacks are when your client will call at a random time in the middle of the day, and rather than a productive phone call, it'll be more of a vent session because something difficult has happened and the client needs to process it. So I would avoid that and schedule phone calls after update emails have been sent. And when the need to vent comes up, what the client should do is channel that into the journal. The 4th tip I have is one that some lawyers may be willing to do and some others may not, and that is allowing the client to do some legwork. So the client will have to ask if the lawyer has some legwork that they can do, and what the policy is on allowing the client to do that. So by legwork, what I mean is things like administrative tasks like gathering records or making copies or putting binders together, any number of things that can be done by support staff are things that some attorneys might allow their clients to do. Solo practitioners tend to be more willing to do this, as usually solo practitioners have less support staff. But just because your lawyer is or works in a larger firm does not necessarily mean they won't allow it. So this is something you just have to ask. That saves you money, because if you're doing the work as opposed to an administrative assistant, then obviously they won't be charging you for that work. And that can really add up if you have a document-heavy case, such as divorce cases. The 5th tip that I have to save money is maybe the most obvious and also the most overlooked, and that is check your statements. So I don't know why it is, but it seems that a lot of legal clients just receive their bill and simply pay it, which you should treat your legal bill the same as you do any other. You should look at it, study it, and question if you see something that looks weird to you on there. Your lawyer will not be offended if you ask a question such as, why was this task necessary, or what is this filing about, or I don't understand what this entry on here means, can you please explain it to me? So that allows the lawyer to potentially catch errors. That happens occasionally. Lawyers are a business like any other, and even though I'm sure that most lawyers try their hardest to avoid errors, it can happen. So definitely check your statement, study it, and ask questions. Your lawyer will be more than happy to correct errors, and in some cases, some lawyers may even offer a discount just to show that they take errors seriously and that they value you as a client. So be sure to ask about that.